Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, let's talk about asynchronous programming and we'll see what are the differences between the synchronous as well as asynchronous programming, and we'll see how the particular code works in the background as well as in the foreground. So let's play the intro and move on to the coding part.
Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you.
Okay guys, let's start with the session. So in the previous session, we have done the project, so kindly access the playlist. So here I'll just create a new folder over here. So I'll just make it as JS23 JS23 folder. So in this JS23 I'll create one index.html file. Then I'll just create one more file. I'll just name it as index.js, index.javascript file. So here what I'll do here is it is coming as a Django here, so I'll just select it as a HTML file. Then I'll put a boiler template inside my file. So here I'll give the title name as asynchronous programming. Async I'll just give it as a title name. So I'll be seeing with the asynchronous programming. So I'll give the h1 tag here. I'll just tell asynchronous programming. Okay, so let's see what is this one. So I'll just save the file. So I'll just click, I'll access the index.js file inside this HTML file. I'll say access the index.javascript file. So I'll just close all the files from the right hand side here. So I'll just save and I'll just close it. So here I'll be coming to the index.js. I'll say something like clog. So I'll say asynchronous programming. Okay, so I'll just save this particular file. So now I'll just go to the go live over here. So this file I'll be opening with the live server. So once the things is opening in the live server, you can say I'm getting asynchronous programming here. So I'll just open the notes which I have written from my site. So you can access the notes in the description below. So here you can see what is asynchronous programming. So asynchronous is a process in which the code doesn't have to wait. The program can continue to run over here. Suppose you are performing some 3 tasks over here. Suppose A is A, B, C. I am giving you the 3 tasks to perform. So if you perform by synchronously, first you will complete A task, then you will go to B, then you will go to C. So 3 tasks you will perform synchronously. That means one after the another. But in asynchronous programming, what it happens here is, so the programs makes it possible to express waiting for a long time run actions without stopping the program during this action. That means if a task is also will be running and B also will be learning and C also will be running, all the 3 tasks will be running in the background. So the task will be running background and the remaining things will be like we will be using a callbacks function over here. So JavaScript usually implement this style of a programming using callbacks, and asynchronous programming is make easier to user to promises objects and represent action. So in the coming videos we'll be seeing about the promises also. So using asynchronous programming we can make it more relevant. Okay, so synchronous means block by block execution. In the asynchronous programming, in the sense, so some task will be happening in the background and you can just move on to the forward. Suppose I'll be writing a code over here. Suppose I'll be writing some few code. So that particular course I'll just make the run. I'll just start the generator here. So I'll just start the particular program, but that program will be running inside the background. But after the next whatever the code I have been written, that will be get executed first. Then that particular after completion of that particular task, it will be giving some of the like messages like task has been completed, like that. Suppose let's see with an example. So here I'll be using concepts of set timeout. So set timeout concept will be using here. So the set timeout, it will take one callback function. Here we can set the particular time, like how many times the particular function should run here. So what I'll do here is, in this particular program, I'll just run one for loop here. I'll just run the for loop. I'll say the for loop let I is equal to 1, and here I need to run this particular for loop for 5,000 times. Okay, so suppose I think I want to run this 50,000 times the for loop. Then I want to increment the I value over here. So as it is done, so I want to just so I'll say const. So what I'll say here is I'll just store the particular value inside a I here. So or else directly I can just print the particular clog. I'll just do, so I'll just print whatever the I value is there, I'll just print it. Okay, so this should happen when? This should happen after 5,000 millisecond. Okay, so this particular program should happen after 5,000 millisecond, but the program should send. Then suppose, then what I'll do here is I'll just write one more clog here. So I'll write once it is done, what I need to say here is I'll say here something like done, task is completed. Okay, I'll say this kind of things here. So done, task is completed. Now let's see what will happen means. So if I just come back here, so you can see nothing, just it will be giving the C log messages here. So in the console, so if I just click onto the console, so you can see the for loop is running over here. If I just press control, I'll just zoom it a little bit. So you can see the for loop is running 449. What I'll do here is I'll just say 5,000 one time. Okay, so but coming back to the here, I'll just refresh the page. So now see, done, task is completed. First the particular task is completed, then after 5 seconds exactly the for loop is started. You can see the for loop is started and it is printing. So you can see it is just going to the n number of pages. So you can see the output here. So the data has been printing because it is going for the 500 times over here. So this is what the for loop is running over here. So I'll just take one little small example here. I'll just give it as a 101 value here. I'll just save it now. So now see, so I'll just refresh again the page. So now see, so actually it is a little bit hanged. So I'll just cancel the terminal. So I'll just stop it. So now I'll refresh the page. So now I'll right click and inspect. Now see, first what I am getting, asynchronous program, then task is completed. Then see, after 5 seconds exactly the task is started over here. That means by using a set timeout, I can use the asynchronous programming. Not only this for loop, if I have any of the other functions, I can just make to run over here. That particular function should start, but after some of the task is completed. But it should run in the background. Okay, it should run in the background, and then you can see it is handling background, but it is complete. It is first it is getting printed over here. Even if I give 1 second, if I just say to 1 second also, see here, if I just refresh, so again see, after 1 second the task is getting completed. But you can see here done, task is completed is coming first. So I said here is a done task is, I'll just copy this one here. I will just print after the for loop. I want to print this one, and I'll just tell I'll say after this for loop prints. Okay, after this particular for loop print. Now see, if I just run the program, after this for loop print first is coming, then the particular set timeout function is getting run, then I'm getting a message like done, the task is getting completed. So like this asynchronous programming works. That means something will happen in the foreground and some other tasks will be happening inside the background. So by using a set timeout functions, we can use the asynchronous programming. So in the coming sessions, we'll be see about the promises and all, and we'll be using this set timeout functions. So and even in the function calls as well as function calls, arrow functions, all will be seeing over here. So you can see this, we call it as arrow function. I'll explain you in the one now particular session what is arrow functions. So it is same, is basically same like the functions itself, but we'll be having arrow type over here. So this is all about the synchronous programming. So asynchronous programming, synchronous is something like, you can see these all the synchronous programming. If I open any of the folder which we have taught, so these all the synchronous, it's like block by block executions happens. One first will happen, this 1 second, so line by line executions will happen over here. But here you see that first it is happened, first this particular task is getting worked, then after this, after exactly 1 second, this particular task is getting run. Okay, so this is how about the synchronous asynchronous programming works. So 100,000 means 1000 means 1000 milliseconds. Okay, so you can just, if you want to give it as a 10 seconds, so you need to give 10,000 milliseconds. Like after exactly the 10 seconds the for loop will start printing. You can see after exactly the 10 seconds the particular for loop print from the 1 to 99. So you can see here, so now the for loop got printed and you can see done, task is completed. So like this the asynchronous programming works. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.